Guys, hi. Sorry about that. Um, so for regrets, I'm just going to explain this. The one was asking for me to repeat. So you can pick from this one, the next row. So it's the same thing. You still look out for the best performer. And the best in this case, we had two of them. So ideally, okay, sort of logical, but nothing to do. So I have a 0 here. And still have a 0 here. Okay. So what happens is that now in choosing 1.7 from this, choosing 1.7, it means that you're foregoing instead of choosing 2.786. And therefore, you're saying that amount is what you call a regret. So it's this minus that. Okay, so there's a regret of 1.042 for you to choose create 100 at the demand level of 120. Okay. However, if you choose create 150 at the demand level of 120, you're saying the maximum is 270. So if you're choosing 2.78, then there's no regret. Okay, it's a 0. Something with choosing 200 at the level 120. Yeah, 2.78 is the best that you can have. So if you chose that, then you don't have any regret. So that's how we end up having a table like this. Then from this one, now you choose accordingly. They said minimax, I said what? So here they said minimax. Yeah. So minimax means that you first bring maximum. Okay, choose the maximum from a table. So in this case, the maximum for 100, it is 4.1. Then for 150, it is 2.0. Then for 100, 200 is 0. So minimum of this is actually 0. Minimum is a 0. So if it's a 0, then I'll choose. That will be the 0 regret, and therefore a crate of vans of 200 will be the best here. Vans with capacity. 200 will be the best. So guys, that's how we go about this. There was the mistake is instead of using the difference of 40, 150 use 20. Where is that? Let me see. Instead of using what? 150. Where? Sylvia, kindly clarify where I feel I made a mistake. Because I don't think I've made a mistake anyway. So in case you have seen it, kindly share. Otherwise, for the request, this is what you do. Let me see other questions that we're asking. Please upload the video. I already forgot to record the first session, so I will upload them because I don't know how you got the. I'll just explain that to Javia. I hope you fine. Yeah. So guys, that is it for decisions. So let's look at something else, a particular question that I could look out for. The one that let me see.
Because of the beautiful ball distribution. To the left side lane. Hey, here's number 3. The Braves. The give me the difference.
There's a question on return on investment. so that I could just share that shortly. And we see. Okay, so there's a question here. There's illustration number 7, which says that, okay, someone's asking me about IR, question 7. And I was like, if you're not given cost of capital, excuse me, if you're not given cost of capital, how would they expect you to find RI, residual income? So you can't find it, and they won't ask for it. They don't give you the rates. Like, yeah, they ask for it, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. You understand? They say that Mboya Limited operates 2 divisions, A and B. Given that the controllable profits for division A and B are 1 million and 3.5 respectively, the available investment for A and B is 5M and 20M respectively. So the company's target return on investment is 10%, and they want you to compute residual income and comment on the respective performance. Okay, now in this case, I think the cost of debt would be return on investment. Okay, cost of debt, cost of capital, sorry, or cost of investment. To be this. So what you'd say is let's stamp out question 1. I mean an A, then for B you can do. So of course, in this case, you're supposed to just be knowing the formulas. Okay. If you know the formulas, then there's nothing to worry about. Okay. If you know that return on investment, what you call the ROI is equal to, if you know it's equal to return, or what you call profit, return or profit, divide by investment or costs or capital employed. Okay. And there's nothing to worry about. Okay. For residual income, you know that residual income is given by profit or return minus cost of capital. Specifically, I could call it interest. Okay, someone's calling it nominal interest. Okay, if you know this formula, then you're good to go. So in our question, illustration 1, what was given, they gave us the profit. Specifically, I'm looking at project A. Project A. Okay, so given the profit of they said of 1 million. Then they gave you, they told you also investment cost. For A was 5 million. Then they gave you return on investment of 10%. So in that regard, what do? You just apply the formula. There's nothing really much to think about. So we're saying our return, our residual income is given by the profit, which is 1M, then minus nominal interest. Nominal interest is given usually by the rate of cost, or the cost rate times the investment. Okay, so to be 10% times 5 million. Okay, just think give you to be 500,000, giving me 500,000 at the end as my due income. So that's how we're supposed to do part A. Share the solution. So I'm sharing the solution. I thought I'm sharing the solution. Guys who join and you don't mute, man. You're not being fair.
Sunday, it's a public.
Denise, kindly mute. Guys, when you don't join and I mean when you join and don't mute, you do me a disservice. Because I have to look now, concentrate on you, then try to switch you off. So that is part A. So you do for B as well, just like that. So let's look at this question number 8, which someone was really worried about. Okay, they say that you're still required to compute return on investment, residual income for the new investment for each of the 2 divisions. Okay, and then you comment. All right, so of course for residual interest or residual income, sorry, we know that whenever you have a positive figure, whenever it's positive, then you're doing well. It's a good investment. And also for return on investment, depending, they must give you a benchmark on which you're basing on to comment it, because it's a relative figure. So you can't say that because you have 80% of return on investment, then you're doing very well. No, that's your assumption. You must have a benchmark. So having said that, they're saying Brack's company is split into 2 divisions, A and B, each with their own costs and revenue streams. Each of the divisions is managed by a divisional manager who has power to make all investment decisions within the decision. Okay, so here you do think of things like transfer pricing, but still return on investment is here and the residual income. Then saying that the cost of capital for both divisions is 12%. Okay, cost of capital. So ideally, you're supposed to use that when you're finding residual income. Historically, investment decisions have been made by calculating the return on investment, okay, of any opportunities. And at present, the return on investment of each division is 16%. Okay, so each division is doing well, 16%. So a new manager who has recently been appointed in Division A has urged that using residual income to make investment decisions will result in a better goal congruence, okay, throughout the company. Okay, so that is his argument. They're saying each, I hope you have read the theory on it, the difference between return on investment and residual income, their benefits and limitations. Then each division is currently considering the following separate investments. So for division A, capital required is 82.8 million, and sales generated from investment are 44.6 million. And you have a net profit margin, of 28%. We want to compute return on investment. Okay. So return on investment, we know that for sure. I'll just do for A, then for B you can do, since it's the same information. So we're saying that from our formula, we know that our return on investment is given by return or profit. Okay, it is profit, not what? Not sales. And then you're given something like, say, net profit margin. Okay, we all know the net profit margin is given by profit after tax, okay, divided by our sales, times 100%. Okay, this we know for sure. So this could help us get the profit, okay, which shall use in the formula, and then we conclude. So therefore, having said that, we know that for A, they gave us the rate as 28% profit. I mean, net profit margin. So we don't know our profit yet, okay? But we're given sales. They say that the sales from division A are 44.6 million. Okay, so times 100%. Of course, 100% is the same as 1, so you just ignore it. So therefore, our part, profit, will be equal to 28% times the sales. Okay, because multiplying here, things shouldn't be an issue. So therefore, my part or my profit should be equal to 28% times 44.6, which will give me this, okay, median. Okay, so therefore your return on investment should be as good as that profit, which is 12.488 million, divided by the investment. Okay, still the investment was given, capital required of 82.8 million. Okay, so this in percentage, 10% will be equal to this, then you have 15%. That will be your answer. Okay, so how do you comment? Of course, it's based on what you have, what they agree upon. They say that their return on investment, they have return on investment or they have capital. They have cost of capital as 12%. Okay. So this return on investment, 15% may be good, but you can't really comment or conclude whether you're doing well or poorly. Although you would say, but it's greater than cost of capital. So if my return is greater than cost of capital, then I'm doing well, isn't it? Because 15% is greater than, I mean, it's actually lower. They say greater. It's greater because cost of capital is 12%. So if it's greater than cost of capital, %, then we accept. Okay, because ideally you're saying the 3% that is extra will give us genuine profit. If 12% is being spent on the cost of capital or on the interest, for example, if you borrowed the money, then 3% is the profit, which is ideally a good thing. So it'll be like, I think I'm doing well. All right. Then let's do residual income. Residual income, it's still profit, which I've just gotten as 12. So to compute it. Okay, then on that, we're saying deduct minus, let me just use that word, minus nominal interest. And I said nominal interest is given by the cost of capital, which was given as rate of 12%, times the investment you're putting in. And these guys are putting in 82.8 million. Okay, so meaning that our residual income will be equal to 12.488 million minus, and figure do I get here? 82.8. If you have any personal question that you feel I could help answer, you can share with me on my WhatsApp. Okay, so that's how we shall end up having our residual income of this minus that, giving me that as the answer. Okay, so it's 2.55 million. Okay, and it's positive, so it's a good figure. So ideally, you would think it's still fine. You would accept the project. Why don't you use 16? What is the 16? Don't miss out anything. Return on investment. Oh, wow. Yeah, so since I have return on investment, that's what I would use actually. Thank you, thank you. So what you'd use instead of comparing it to the cost of capital, you'd consider the investments that are there, which have a 16. So when you have 16, then you will actually reject. Because previously, all the projects are at 16. Okay, I missed that part. Thanks. This idea in the question. Okay, that at present, the return on investment of each division is 16%. So any project that brings a return that's less than 16%, then it's not worth it. Okay, although of course keeping other factors constant. All right, so guys, that's how we deal with return on investment and residual income. Try to read, like I already said, the benefits and the shortfalls, or the limitations. Okay, someone didn't share a question. Okay, so since guys don't have any question, I want to talk about topic 4. Okay, let me share topic 5. See if there's a question I can raise. Topic 4, a performance measurement. I hope in the notes you have some few questions you can attempt before close. Especially on transfer. I know that you guys have looked at transfer or any other. So I hope you can see the screen. So that's performance control and stuff. This is where we find return on investment and all these ratios, which you should be knowing from financial statement analysis. So I want to just peruse through. Then, so someone asking about illustration 4. Compute expected. Okay. Still want to comment on that question. It's long, so it will take us time. But I wanted for question number 3, for those who have the notes, you need to comment financially, where you look at ratios like gross profit margin, look at ratios like operating or net profit margin, and then comment. It also had non-financial information. Okay, like you see complaints, customers' complaints, yeah, number of customer complaints, number of customers themselves, then gold deliveries, then purchase orders delivered on time. This is non-financial, so you're supposed to comment based on their increase or decrease, and you say it's a good performance or a poor performance. Okay, maybe if I go too far, let me first see if I could share the benefits. I have a feeling that they will come. I may be wrong, but nevertheless, I'll share. Balance scorecard, this one I've talked about it many times, so I won't talk about it. Is also by the potential candidate of coming. So you want to look at balance scorecard again. Just remind yourself, which I think you can because you already discussed it. Yes, so that has to just look at this theory as we tend to the question. I hope share the solution. Which solution? Why don't we use? Okay, I've understood. They mean the one we've been doing. I'll share. The benefits include for the return on investment. Okay, It includes the fact that it's relative. It can be applied on all sizes of companies. Then extremely used, okay, it's used externally, okay, and well understood by users, which is still fine. It encourages reduction in the level of assets, such as obsolete equipment and excessive working capital. Okay, then it's broken down into secondary ratios for detailed analysis. I think still that is fine. Then setbacks of return on investment is that they are disincentive or they are demotivating in nature to investment. And then the other thing is by logic or logically, existing assets may be sold off so that they improve the return on investment. Remember, return on investment is very similar, if not the same, as return on capital employed. And which capital employed looks at assets and long-term debt. Yeah, assets and long-term debt. Okay, and that's long-term debt. It looks at equity and long-term debt, or you look at assets minus current liabilities. Okay, so if you want to reduce that figure, you just reduce the assets. You know that return on investment is the same as return over investment. So if the investment figure is reduced, then the resultant figure will increase. So someone can do that to make sure that he improves his return on investment. That's what we call cooking up books and being smart or whatever it is. So illustration 4, this one was straightforward. He said that compute return on investment. I think we've spent time on return on investment. This will be the last one I will do. Return, we know that is profit, the 28M. Okay, over total investment, over what I said, capital employed. And I've told you that capital employed is the same as total assets, which here we have and current assets of 100 plus this inventory and trade receivables, giving you 150,000. Then minus current liabilities, which were trade payables of 80. So that means you have 150 minus 80, that will be 70. Yes, 7,000. So 28 out of 70,000, that will be your return on investment. That's the answer. Okay, question number 5, I think this is also straight. Okay, so it's agree that to be the last one I will do. Then for residual incomes, I'm interested in mainly the kickbacks and stuff. Advantages of using residual income is that it reduces problems of under-investing, okay, or failing to accept projects with return on investment greater than the group target, which we shall appreciate more, and the visualization or transfer prices, which I will share with you shortly. Okay, then it's more consistent with objective of maximizing, okay, wealth for people. It is possible to use different rates of interest for different types of assets. Cost of financing division is brought home to divisional managers, among others. Disadvantages that it suffers the conflict with NPV. Okay, because for NPV you discount values, and for term investment you don't discount. It uses more of historical data and stuff. Okay, it suffers from profit and asset measurement problems, difficulty in comparison of companies with different sizes. Okay, then it's not widely used. Okay, so other methods include variance analysis, ratio analysis, and other information. Can talk about briefly transfer pricing. Transfer pricing arises when you have divisionalization. Divisionalization, this is where you have a company with maybe 2 branches, but these 2 branches are autonomous in nature, or they have autonomy. In short, that they operate independently. They have their own books, they buy their own items and sell their own items. Now, the transfer pricing comes in when these 2 say divisions or branches under one company sell to each other. So when company A sells to company B, not necessarily company B, but when division A sells to division B in the same company at a particular price, we call it a transfer price. Okay, and how we come up with the figure is they really vary, as we shall see. So that was the brief about it. The objectives of you having transfer pricing is mainly to bring in goal congruence, then also to help with performance measurement, then autonomy, and then recording the movement of goods and services. I won't explain just because of time. Ideally, transfer prices should be as follows. It should be perceived as fair for both me who is giving you and you who is buying. You should find the price fair. Then profits, provide profits for both divisions because profits are motivating. Yeah, that for my case who is selling, I want at a higher price, a fairly high price. Then for you who is buying, you also want at a fairly low cost. So a transfer price should balance, should strike a balance between the two, so that they are all motivated. And then promote goal congruence and then promote autonomy. How do we set transfer prices? There's the market-based approach, which ideally just based on the market, that you have a good or goods, and you see at what prices are these goods being sold on the market, forces of market and demand. What price are they selling? Say if you deal in phones, how much is a phone? Okay. Of course, I know types really differ, but generally we're saying how much is a phone. So the price at which the phone is sold in the market is the one that you adopt as your transfer price. Of course, you may revise for a few other things like since we are in the same company, you don't have the same price. Maybe some amounts lower. Okay, but you keep in mind that's what the external market. Then the second way we do it is a cost-based approach. This one I've already looked at it, or we looked at it before in pricing, where a cost-based approach means that you look at the cost you have incurred in coming up with a good, and then you add something on top, what you call a markup, okay, for a profit, and then the total becomes the selling price or the transfer price. Okay, and costs vary because you have full costs, then you have marginal cost, and then you have opportunity costs. So depending on what they will tell you is what you apply. All right, too much talking. Division 1 is here. For division 1, I need to compute total profit. Okay, so let me just give a summary here. Okay, we say that division A is selling to division B. Okay, and division B also sells to external parties. Okay, so they say that selling division A has a cost of 10. So when A is selling goods, it incurs $10 per unit, and then division B has an additional cost of 4. Then division B sells to external parties at what we call the selling price at 20. Okay, so assuming the selling price, I mean a transfer price of 12, transfer price of 12, they're asking us to find the total profit. Okay, these are costs. Okay, so what do we do? The overall, whenever they want total profit, this is what you look out for. For those guys who are a bit confused about when do we add in the profit before tax, I mean the transfer price and the total sales, and when don't we add it? Okay, whenever A does not have an alternative buyer or an alternative customer, total transfer price is negligible in this combination. because the overall price, this thing, the assumption is that A and B are 1. So where A and B is transferring goods to B, it's just like, ideally we're saying that some things just cancel themselves. That you're debiting, A is saying, I'm going to debit my cash, I've received money, then credit, maybe sell. Okay, it is saying I've sold to B. Then B, guy is also saying that, you know what, I've bought, that is true. Incurred costs in purchases. Okay, but when I credit, I spent money. Okay, so what you're saying is, when these guys come together, when they are one, because they are under one umbrella, these debits and thingies cancel out themselves. It's more of consolidation. When you come together, the selling price disappears. Okay, so because of that, what we do is, to get total profit, just look at sales are made by B or to the external parties. Okay, specific external parties. If A was selling to someone else out there, we'll still consider the external price of A. So we take 20, and then our total cost, well, it's different. Why? Because it's a cost that you had the 10 in A, and you had an additional cost of 4. It's additional. So giving us a total cost of what? Of 14. So I'll end up having profit of 6. That's the overall. We ignore the transfer price because you're selling to your brother or you're in one family. It's like the money has not left the boundaries. It's the same place. So you can't say you sold. You just removed the money from one corner of the house and put it to another corner of the house. So there's no way you can call it a sale. All right. Okay, so listening closes. In short, let's join again and we discuss something to do with, especially maybe you can try out this example, which we did in class, but I'm just going to repeat for you. This one here. Okay, so let's join again the link in a minute.